and we are back to Ape Escape and Ape Escape P to cover the much longer final two eras. Just a repeated disclaimer from last time in case anyone joined with this video. Many of the monkey names will be wrong, because the Ape Escape wiki and two guides I looked up all attributed the names to different monkeys. On the PS1, before I start the next world, I have 20 Spectre coins, so now I can play the minigame Spectre Boxing. Playing it for the first time unlocks the trophy Warrior Monkey. I have a few monkeys to choose from, but since there's nothing to accomplish by playing apart from the trophy I just got, I just flail my limbs around, with each stick controlling an arm. I lose by decision and never play it again. We now move on to the recent past and its first stage, Tranquil Temple. This message from the Professor is actually important since he has discovered that Spectre is hiding within this era. This stage has 12 monkeys, of which I have to catch 7. To start with, I go up all the stairs, getting attacked by the first Hanzo enemy on the way. They'll teleport in, throw a shuriken at you and then run and jump around. At the top of the stairs I can see 3 monkeys in front of me and a 4th on the temple roof. I catch one of them, MC, right away as the other 2 run off. I chase the second one to the left and capture Vinyl. Meanwhile, the third one in blue has run under the temple. He doesn't get very far and RGB is mine. In the back right corner of this area is a well for me to drop down. Down here is a cave where the floor has several holes in it leading to lava with fireballs jumping out. There are 2 monkeys jumping across the platforms here for me to chase down. First I catch Red, and then Stressed. I head to the back of the room where the big statue is and hover up onto the pillar on the left. It leads to a ledge with a narrow path to cross, then a couple pillars to cross to the other side of the room. That leads to a vine to climb across to the next platform where I can hover over to a Spectre coin in the back. Back out of the well and now I enter the temple itself. I head up the stairs to find a Buddha statue and in its hand the monkey Scamp, who doesn't get to try anything before being captured. To the left I spot another monkey. It's my first monkey in green, who have better vision than the others. Cameron here also has rockets and he kills me, but I run right back up to him and catch him next time. That's the 7th one I needed, 31.7% complete. On the PSP, this era is called Medieval Mayhem and the first level is Wabi Sabi Temple. Here we get a slight change, as in this version I need to catch 8 monkeys instead of 7. Starting this era gets me the trophy Medieval Knight. Here, Vinyl, now B Diddy, manages to get far enough away that he can hide in this bell, requiring a little whack to knock him out. He's the first one caught. Behind the bell I get another Spectre coin earlier than I did on the PS1. RGB is caught next, now called Method Monkey. Seconds later I get attacked by an enemy I avoided completely first time on the PS1, the bear Eno. 3 hits kills one. On the roof I shoot down Svengali and catch him, another monkey I'm getting earlier. Then MC, now called Ukiuk. After that it's in the well for Stressed, renamed Yo-Yo, and Red, renamed Naki. I also grab the Spectre coin up and in the back. Then into the temple for Scamp, now called Binky, then the final Spectre coin gotten earlier than the PS1, by hovering up onto the Buddha's head. I then finish the level by capturing Cameron, who is now called Manta. The extra collectibles have put me ahead of the PS1 at 32.5%. Next up is the Great Wall. 10 monkeys here, of which I have to catch 8. Walking along the wall I'll see a few islands off to the sides. Some, like the first, just have chips for me to pick up. I get a death fear when I first jump onto the moving platform with alternating spike walls on each side. I panic and just jump right off. Next time I'm prepared and get past it. As I keep moving I cross this wooden bridge to some spinning platforms. Floating above are Chaipu, who try to nail me with cannonballs. Across the platform I attack Meg and get my first capture. Past it is the moving platform that takes me past these stairs to another monkey lower down. This is Pal, all caps, and he doesn't have much space to run from me so he's easily caught as well. From here I can climb past the stairs without having to deal with the timed turning into a slope. Next comes a rolling platform to get across. I overestimate its rolling speed and run myself off to another death. Next I let the propeller make it easier for me and go through the door to end up inside. There are 3 monkeys running around this room. If they make contact with the gong in the middle, huge weights will fall from the ceiling to try and crush me. They'll also jump into the holes on the sides of the room and pop out through another. I don't know which is which because they all wear white and are unarmed, but their names are Senior, Kid and Baby. Catching them all took a couple minutes. This creates some steps to continue my climbing here and opens up a Spectre coin hiding in the wall that I grab. I climb up and go through the door here to end up back outside. First thing I do out here is shoot this switch to open up the gate across this huge gap. I cross the gap by riding this moving platform, avoiding the buzzsaws that pass through it. I jump off at the gate and turn right to see a monkey using some binoculars through this fence. I keep running along the path, avoiding everything rolling down at me. At the top I turn a wheel to lower a bridge to cross. I next have a series of rolling platforms to jump across to reach the door at the top. Now this room is huge. To start with is a wheel to bring out a bridge that recedes into a spiked wall, then one that brings out 2 bridges that connect in the middle. Past that and at the top of this path is a gap with another monkey on the other end. I hit this target to rotate the bar so I can climb across. Flea is another monkey with little space to escape to. He gets caught on the corner of this fence, leading to getting caught in my net. Then past him is another door leading back outside. Grab onto the bar and ride along this rail over the gap, seeing that there's a monkey on the arch where it leads to. He could have stayed out of reach, but instead Billy drops down and runs off, dropping bombs behind himself. He runs inside and gets climbing the walls, so I have to take the long way around outside while avoiding being flattened some more. Once I reach the top, a different monkey gets in a flying saucer. I shoot Ewan down and catch him. This opens up a hole in the roof where I can drop down and catch Billy to clear the level. That's 34.2% now. In Ape Escape P, it's called Tiki Tiki Wall. In this version, the amount of monkeys needed for the first clear is reduced by 2, so I only need to catch 6 here. I never brought it up before, but another visual upgrade that I do prefer from the PSP version is the much better draw distance. It's very obvious in this stage. I start by catching Meg, who is now called Chimp Lee, then Pal, who's been renamed Ape Yun Fat, then comes Senior, Kid and Baby, whose names have been changed to Uncle Bobo, Samuel Bobo and Ricky Bobo. Then I grab the Spectre coin on the wall. I kill a Chaipu, and then in the second indoor section catch Flea, now called Ron, and that's where the level ends for now this time. And the final level of the recent past is Trick Castle. This level has 20 monkeys to find, but my only goal is to catch Spectre. I move straight forward until the path splits into an uphill and downhill path. The uphill one leads to the castle, but I go downhill. There's a gun-toting mum, having a nap and only noticing me when it's too late. Further on there's a waterfall I can swim past to end up inside. It leads into one of the castle basements where I'm attacked by bats, Parky, all the way to the end to find a locked door keeping me from going any further. So it's back outside and continuing downhill to find my next monkey, CD. He tries to use his rockets to keep me away long enough for him to get in the nearby flying saucer, but it doesn't work and I capture him. That's the end of this path, so it's back the way I came and taking the uphill split. The castle comes into view, but the front door is closed. I run to the right, around and uphill to take Ali by surprise and catch him. I continue to climb this hill and at the top use the propeller to land on one of the towers. There's some sort of container here I can't do anything with, but up here on the roof I can catch Pascal. The nearby switch creates some platforms to the roof next to the front door. Down the stairs up here to finally enter the castle. I can see barrels rolling down a slope in front of me and I manage to make it all the way to the bottom unharmed. There's another monkey down here, Gaza. He likes to hide down the holes underneath the bells. I eventually catch him when he's trying to switch bells. That's 5 monkeys, which opens up a door elsewhere. While I was trying to catch Gaza, I was seeing the odd gunshot from above, so I run back up the slope and see this platform off to the side with Flock on it. I catch him, but he can't have been the culprit since he doesn't have a gun. I drop down and it turns out the one I'm looking for is on this ceiling above the bells. That's Sid, all capitals, caught as well. There's also a new enemy in here, the Nutty Knight, a more armoured version of the Nutcase. I can now go through the nearby door with this room cleared out. To the right from where I entered is the now opened front door, and to the left is the door I opened with 5 monkeys. I instead go straight ahead to try and hover over this huge pit. I die. So I go through the 5 monkey door. There's a throne in the back and sitting on it is my next catch, Elvis. I go up the stairs in here to find a monkey shooting at me from atop a chandelier. This is Dayglow, who is very easy to catch since the chandelier is so small. I jump back down and go through the nearby doorway, climb some steps and at the top I can catch another monkey with a gun, Suits. Through the next doorway and I jump across another platform to reach a door to another screen. I ride down the slide here and at the end jump and hover to this guillotine. There's a monkey perched on it to capture, Suede. Then I turn to see another in a cell I can jump down to, Par, and catch. And while catching him I can see a Spectre coin in the distance. I hover back onto the slide and make sure I grab it on the way down. The platform it was above turns out to be bouncy, and so I use it to reach this next guillotine to capture another monkey, Corpse. This room gets me quite a lot for the short time I spend in it. At the bottom is my first Walloon Knight. I just have to dodge their sword swings and then strike. 4 hits kills it and opens the door I was guarding. It leads into the same basement the waterfall outside led to, but on the other side of the door. I hit the switch here to open said door, but there's a cell opposite keeping a monkey away from me. So it's into the water, where Chili's swimming around waiting to be caught. There's a tunnel nearby to swim through that leads inside the cell where I can catch Rodan. Then back in the water and continuing the path past the tunnel, there's another monkey in the water, Hairy, who I also catch. I get out of the water, where there's moving platforms and rows of spikes above them that are quite easy to forget about and jump your stupid face into. But you don't actually have to platform here, you can just swim to the other side and hover out. Through the door to another room. A load of gears and I can see another monkey on the opposite side of the room. This is Prince, who tries to escape over the gears. I follow him across them, catching Bowie on the way, and hitting a switch that opens one of the gears close to the Spectre coin so I can grab it. It also opens up one of the towers on the roof. I pick up the Spectre coin and finally catch Prince. I go through the door next to where I found him. I drop down the ledge and find it leads back to the start of the basement. Back to the throne room and jumping across 4 chandeliers to the other side and up the stairs to find another Spectre coin in front of the window. Also here is the Monkey Constable. Then onto the roof and into the newly opened tower. Spectre and Buzz are here. Spectre asks Buzz if his plan is coming along, and it is. He says that they've almost got the entire town under control. Spectre says that it's now time for them to return to the present. They go to leave, Buzz saying that they will settle things soon. They board their battle cruiser and escape through time. They did leave a boss behind for me though, the Specializer, a huge electrified suit of armour. It will power itself up with electricity and chase me down. Once it swings its axe and misses, that's my chance to hit it, just like the Walloon Knight. This one takes 5 hits to kill, with the pattern not changing, and that's the level cleared. On the stage clear screen, there's no one there to tell me I did well. Spike ends up back in the present day, but things aren't as they should be. There are monkeys flying saucers through the streets of Tokyo, replacing ads with posters of Spectre and statues of humans with statues of monkeys. People are hiding inside, and those who dare leave their houses get chased by monkeys on motorbikes. Spike returns to the lab, but it's empty, with Casey saying that the Professor left a message. This has been recorded during the initial invasion, the Professor showing Spike the TV tower that Spectre is using as a base. Meanwhile, Katie is trying to keep out the monkeys, but they cut the door down and take both of them. Spike runs right off to deal with it. All those monkeys I caught bumped me up to 38.2%. On the PSP, this stage is called Crumbling Castle. I start by catching CD, now called Sir Blonde. Next is Mum, now called Antonio, then Ali, now Sir Noel. Nearby I get another Spectre coin earlier than the PS1. On the cliffs behind the castle I can hover to this one. Then comes Pascal, now Sir Luge. Then creating the platforms on the wall and going inside to catch Flock, renamed Fly, and then Gaza, renamed Perla. I kill a Parky, and finally for this room, Sid, now called Double Sol. Next one caught is Elvis, now called Iron. Then it's Dayglow, now called Sir Rose. Constable is next, renamed Sir Jean, and I also grab the Spectre coin in front of the window. Then Suits, renamed to Sir Vale. Into the prison with Suede, now called Saturday, then Pa, who is now called August, the Spectre coin above the bounty platform, Corpse, who has been renamed Sardonyx, and killing the Walloon Knight. Down into the basement to catch Chill, now called Sir Gris, Harry, now called Sir Sepia, and Rodan, now called Sir Violet. And now the gear room to catch Bowie, who has been renamed to Nimrod, open the tower, grab the final Spectre coin, and catch Prince, renamed Moose. Then into the tower to watch the cutscene with Jake and Spectre, and then take out the Specializer to get the trophy, Goodnight Electronite. One change is that on this version, Natsumi and the Professor are still there to congratulate your stage clear before they get kidnapped for the next cutscene. In fact, the cutscene doesn't start automatically, and dropped off in the time station first. Time for the final era, the present day, starting with Urban City. First I get a message from Casey. With the Professor and Katie unavailable, she'll be taking over to give me new gadgets. I was actually surprised to find that she's actually a character and not just the pointer stick person at the start of each stage. She's finished up the RC car that the Professor was working on. I can drive the RC car with the right stick, it can damage enemies by colliding with them. But that isn't its only use. I can park it on switches that automatically deactivate when stepped off Earth to keep them pressed down. The next thing it can do is pass through small holes in walls. We've already seen a few monkeys behind walls like these that I couldn't deal with before. That's the end of this training stage, and clearing it unlocks the trophy for those hard to reach places. Casey also gets to do the introduction cutscene to this era. She tells Spike that since a lot of the lab equipment was destroyed by the monkeys, he still has to return to the time station between levels. I guess that's to explain why he still goes there when he's back in his own time now, so the developers didn't have to waste time making a second hub. Casey points out this factory that Spike has to reach, as it's where Spectre is having weapons manufactured to use when he goes to conquer the rest of the world. The way to the factory is hidden in this park. Of the 13 monkeys in this stage, I need to catch 8 of them. Right away is a climbing frame with a monkey inside, letting me use the RC car right away. I use it to chase the monkey out, and Ginger is my first capture. Nearby are some tree stumps to climb leading to a cave with a monkey and a boxing ring inside. Robin jumps out of the ring to escape, but doesn't get very far because I catch him too. Between the climbing frame and tree stumps is some stairs to a hatch in the floor needing 3 monkeys to be caught to open it. I go in the opposite direction of the stairs, passing under a big pipe with another monkey on top. Past it is a monkey on a bench. The new enemy, Megaton Chimpanoid, thinks he can distract me by dropping down from nowhere while being massive, but it doesn't work and Gorilla is easily captured. The hatch opens, and the monkey on the pipe backs up the new enemy by shooting me in the head. It also has a hammer for a hand with which it can do a spinning lariat with huge range. It takes 5 hits to destroy. I can't reach that monkey, or any others, so it's time to drop down that hatch. In the sewers I can see a monkey on a grate above. Past it I use the RC car to open a gate and catch Chummy behind it. After he leads me up all those stairs and shoots me a few times, that is. He led me all the way to this ramp, but first I jump in the nearby water and go through the big pipe to another screen. This room is covered in slopes with giant barrels slowly rolling down. I use them as platforms to cross the first gap and get on top of this cage to find my first Spectre coin of the level. I cross it to the other side of the room where I can see a monkey in another pipe, but I miss the ledge and end up sliding all the way down to the bottom, seeing myself miss another monkey near the end. So I take the lift down here, back up, and try again. There's a monkey in the cage the coin was above, but I can't catch him from here. I land in the pipe next time to find the monkey has already run off. On the other end of the pipe is more water, and in it is a series of platforms going up. There are two monkeys with guns up here, Cobain, who started in the pipe and gets me the Pro Catcher trophy for being my 100th catch, and Veggie. I jump down and go into the pipe left of the one I came from, which has a big propeller to get past. At the end is more water to jump into. There's a hole I can swim through down here to another screen. This leads back out into the park, but higher up. Here I can grab another Spectre coin. I can also finally catch Posh, the monkey on the pipe that was shooting at me earlier. Back through the hole into the sewer, on the opposite wall to the hole I can jump out onto an alcove, then I can jump higher to find another monkey with a gun, Sharon. That will be my 8th capture and this stage cleared. My completion is now 40.9%. This level is called City Park in P. I only get the invasion cutscene after selecting it here. The only thing I have to point out is they gave this guy a Hitler tash and gave him a much more unflattering hairstyle than the simple bald head he had in the original. The RC car is now controlled by the D-pad, but since that's on the same side as the PSP's only stick, it means that both walking and steering at the same time is not going to be happening much. Probably the biggest downgrade from the loss of the second stick, but I can adapt so it's not a huge loss. Starting the present day gets me the trophy, Bring Me to Monkey Town. First thing I do is catch Ginger, who has been renamed Elf, and then Robin, who is now called Herbert. Gorilla is next, renamed Manson. The Megaton Chimpanoid traps me in this stun beam which it didn't use on me on the PS1. I kill it. In the sewer I change events again. Off to the side when chasing Chummy, who is now called Apestoy, is a monkey behind a cage. I bait him out with the RC car and catch Cypress. I tried to only collect the same monkeys and coins I did first time through on the PS1 to make it all easier to track when writing these videos, but when we're dealing with hundreds of collectibles, my memory couldn't be perfect. And I didn't want to slow things down with rewatching the PS1 recordings. I catch Apestoy, then get the Spectre coin above the cage. I catch a Veggie, now called Omar, get the Spectre coin outside, and then catch Posh, who has been renamed September. Another change of events, I get back in the water under where I found Omar and swim through a tunnel. Here is a new monkey, Enea, swimming around. Catching this one means that this level is now 2 monkeys out of sync with the PS1 playthrough. I don't know if there's any fandom debate over whether Ape Escape or Ape Escape P is currently the canon version of events, but the real question is, which playthrough is canon to the UltraKintaro YouTube channel? The second stage of the present day is Spectre's Factory. 10 monkeys here, I need to catch 7. There's a tank at the start that I can get in, each of the treads are controlled by a stick. There's also the new mecha nutcases that I wipe out with the cannon. The cannon can also destroy these black and yellow crates blocking my path forward. There's a monkey and a flying saucer and it can't damage me at all in this tank. I shoot it down and Itchy is my first catch of the stage. I continue along the path, blowing everything up until I reach this monkey that jumps inside an ape cannon. It fires rockets at me but keeps missing while I nail it dead on with my own shots. Yevil tries to get away in its destruction but can't stop himself from being caught. Behind the cannon is the door into the factory. Up the stairs I reach this big central control room. To the left is a door needing one more monkey cart to open. To the right is a wheel that lowers a bridge further up. All I can do is go through the door in the back. There's a monkey behind a grate with some rockets and a big course of the RC car. While I'm driving it through this path I have to run along it on top. I take it to a switch that activates a set of stairs to climb over the next wall with. I respawn the car and send it into the next section. This one is tougher. I have to cross a pair of moving platforms over a pit. It takes a few attempts but I get it across and onto the next switch. More stairs over another wall to the third section. This time it's too tall for me to run along above. There's 2 switches here that activate temporary bridges that quickly recede, and at the end and far out is a Spectre coin. Crossing is actually very easy, but I just barely miss a Spectre coin and fall to my death. Turns out there's an easier way to do it. Cross the bridges, then press a switch again to send it out again, then it's just 2 steps away. Past that is the monkey with the rockets, Plonker. With him caught, the door to the left in the previous room opens and I go through. Here I have to stay on this platform as it moves and navigate past all the spinning spiked pillars. Once I reach the other side I have a choice of 3 numbered wheels. Each one lifts up a platform of the same number in front of them. I have to lift them all up and time it in a way that, as they descend, I can climb them to the floor above. Next comes crossing a conveyor with swinging hammers passing by. That one's easy, then through the door at the end. This leads me to the top of the first room. There's a new patroller that charges into me while I'm trying to catch the monkey up here, but Chunky doesn't last much longer. There's also a lever that creates a moving platform between the top and the ground. I can now use the wheel to lower the bridge and ride the platform up to cross it to go through the next door. I cross the bridge here and through the boxes comes charging a monkey piloting a robo-chip. I think I'm safe hiding up on the tall pile of boxes, then it reveals it has homing missiles and shoots me into the pit. I have to let it charge past me, and when it starts stalling is the time to hit it with the club. Keep doing that, and after enough hits, the robo-chimp explodes and I can catch Rick. I can then cross the next bridge and go through the door to the next room. Now I have turning gears under retracting spike walls over liquid metal to get past. I think this is actually easy until I nudge a spike and get thrown into my death. Next time I get past and reach the other side where there's another wheel that lowers a huge pipe. When it moves back up, I pass through it and a second pipe to the door at the end. This room has an ascending series of conveyors moving boxes around. I get climbing and make my way to the top. Up here I turn around and see another monkey hiding off in the corner. Davinder has nowhere to escape to and I catch him. Returning to the big platform at the top, another monkey piloting a robo-chimp appears. I defeat this one the same way to get access to the monkey, C, but where is he? He somehow got stuck in the air above the room ceiling. So I have to leave the room and re-enter to reset his position so I can capture him to clear the stage. 43.3%. And back to the PSP where the level name is unchanged. I kill a mecha nutcase, I capture Itchy who is now called Ashra, and then Yaffle who is now called Dooz. Inside I get the Spectre coin using the RC car and catch Plonker, now Octo Jr. Chunky is next, having been renamed Sunday. I destroy the first robo-chimp and catch Rick whose new name is Kai. Then those two in the conveyor room. Davinder is now Selvage and C, the one in the second robo-chimp, is now Chim Noble. Now for the third level of the present day, TV Tower. Once again my aim is to catch Spectre, but there are also 12 monkeys to catch here. I start outside the building and head on inside. Straight away I turn left to find Sonny on a chair as my first catch. Just in time to get shot by the new Killer Coil enemy too. To the right I can jump up to the next floor and over the fence. I go through the door into the hallway and then jump up into this air vent. It's here I find Jitter who shoots me down with his rockets and then escapes out into the hallway. Before going after him I press the switch to drain the pool back in the lobby. Then I can follow and catch Jitter. Into the drained pool and below the lobby I can find a hidden lift to another screen. I follow the path around to see water and a rowboat, but instead I use the propeller to get on the pipe above. I see a monkey jump in the water, but first there's a Spectre coin on an even thinner pipe. I'm actually surprised when I make it across to grab it first try. I then drop down in the water to catch the swimming Hitchcock. I follow the room through this pipe to what looks like an empty room, but above is Amiga climbing across the bars on the ceiling. I shoot him down and catch him too. I swim back, avoiding all the naval mines after me. Back to the lobby, and with at least 3 monkeys caught, I can get in the lift on the second floor. Right away there's a tank for me to drive and a track to follow. Along this track are the huge Cat 10 enemies that take 3 tank shots to kill. I spot a monkey on the ground below me, so I drop down, take Victor by surprise, and that's my 5th catch of the stage. When I see these red and white crates around the ground, I take my tank off the track, just knowing I could blow them up with it. One crate was hiding a monkey. Liam here was surprisingly resistant to tank fire. Catching him opens the doors to another lift further up. A crate just behind Liam was hiding the second and final Spectre coin of the level. That's all that's important though, and I take one of the tank lifts in the corner and go all the way across the track this time. At the end are more crates to destroy that reveal a switch that just activates the lift next to it that I don't need. Before going, there's another track to the left to take the tank along. It leads to a wall of crates that when destroyed reveals another monkey and an ape cannon. It destroys my tank, so I have to slowly go back, get another, and bring it back. I destroy the ape cannon and out comes Buddy, who I catch. I blow up the crates behind the cannon to reveal the entrance to a hidden room. I can see a monkey climbing along a pipe on the opposite wall, but can't reach it. To the left I can cross a bigger pipe to find a switch that activates a bridge above me to a platform and the stairs up to it. I get on the platform, which lowers as I stand on it, but rises when I stand on the switch on it. As the platform sinks I can actually see 2 monkeys climbing around. But once the platform gets lower than that, there's a fan to blow me into the pit to my death. This takes a few tries. It's hard to shoot them down when both you and the monkey are moving in opposite directions. It doesn't help and I die again. Next time I catch one of them, Zombie, just swinging the net at him when he passes by. The other one, Sean, takes a few attempts, but at least it didn't involve any more deaths. A shutter lowers nearby revealing a window with a target on it. I break through and catch Barlow at the computer. Pressing the switch here opens a door leading back to the first switch in this room. I then go back to the previous room and into the lift I opened. Up here is a platform that takes me to a boss battle. The Professor and Katie are here guarded by Buzz, and so is Spectre. Spectre praises Spike's stubbornness, but says he intends to make the Professor help him some more. He has Buzz drag them off while Spectre gets inside the battle cruiser to fight me with. It starts by flying around the arena dropping missiles everywhere, then a fire spread that moves all the way across the arena. It then spawns several flying saucers that each take a couple of whacks to destroy. After that it reveals a big green weak spot, so weak that a hit from a club almost sends the whole vehicle tumbling off the building. After that the pattern repeats, but the attacks may not always be in the same order. I get a second hit in. On the third cycle it skips the fire attack for spawning flying saucers twice. I get a third hit in. Next time after the missiles it reveals its weak spot while in the air. I get no time to react before it charges for me, leaving a big bomb behind that creates an arena spanning shockwave. Eventually it lands to reveal its weak spot and I get a fourth hit in. At this point the battlecruiser is flashing red. Through another cycle and hitting it for a fifth time, but it still keeps going. After the next cycle I miss the hit by a second when the weak spot covers up again. So this time I aim a slingshot and first chance I get, hit the killing blow with some explosive ammo. The battlecruiser lands and bursts into a fiery explosion right in Spike's face, while he doesn't even flinch. Spectre is impressed. He ignores Spike's demands for his friends back and teleports away. I caught 10 of this stage's 12 monkeys, 46.2% complete now. And on the PSP, this level keeps its name. I catch Sunny, who is now called Carmine. I destroy a killer coil. Then I catch Jitter, renamed Nouveau. In the sewer I catch Hitchcock, new name Edgar, then pick up the Spectre coin. After that is Amiga, renamed Topaz. Into the tank room where I kill a Katten, catch Liam, who has been renamed Rubino, collect the Spectre coin hiding in the crate, catch Victor, who is now Emmanuel, then destroying the ape cannon for Buddy, whose name is now Spiegelberg. In the room with the fan and the moving platform, I catch Zombie, new name Napoli Monkey, and Sean, now Icy Ice. Barlow, the one in the computer room, is now called Coburn. But I catch another one I missed on the PS1. Below the fans after you catch Coburn is a small platform where I can catch this stage's 11th monkey, Oki. Nothing to say about the battlecruiser fight other than I defeat it again. Doing so gets me the trophy, there he goes again. That just leaves the game's final level, Spectreland. I get an introduction from Spectre, saying that he has hidden the Professor and Katie within the amusement park he once lived at before he got the helmet. Once again the objective is to catch Spectre, but the park also has 24 monkeys and 10 Spectre coins to find. The entrance of the park acts as a hub connecting its different sections, but one is closed off. To the left from the front gate is Westernland. Right away I can see a monkey on a roof with a gun. I jump up after him and Tyson is caught. The large building opposite the entrance has a couple monkeys moving between the windows, but first I explore a bit to find a Spectre coin above the entrance gate that I can hover into from one of the roofs. I get shooting the monkeys out the windows. There are 3 of them, but they can get back inside through the front door. I stun 2 of them with the same club swing and catch Mankey, then Kong. Then I shoot down and catch the 3rd monkey, Parsley. That's all in here, so I leave. Back out into the hub, I head up the stairs on the opposite side to enter Spectre Circus. There's a huge cage in here and inside it is the Professor. After checking that the other is okay, the Professor says that the entrance of the cage is on the top. To the right from the door to the cage is a series of bounty platforms. I mess up the first bounce and die. And then I mess up the first bounce and die again. For some reason my depth perception just doesn't work in only this one room. I make it across next time where the extremely fast bomb balloon enemies are waiting. Then more bouncing, only for my bad depth perception here to get me another death halfway. But next time I get past and keep climbing. Then comes climbing across a pair of poles. More bouncing, which I managed first time thankfully, and I reach the top where the wind-up clown is waiting. He tries to run you over with a giant beach ball. The only way to damage him is with the slingshot. After an amount of hits I didn't bother to count, he falls off the ball and through the roof, creating the entrance. Once I reach the floor, he starts rolling around the arena himself. I have to bait him into crashing into the wall to stun him and then give him a whack. 3 or 4 hits and he's done and the Professor is free. The Professor goes into the whole philosophy of strength when Spike says that it was the gadgets he made that got him this far. The Professor will go back to his lab to fix his broken equipment while I deal with the rest of the stage. Back into the hub, the only other open area is the Terror Coaster. I have to ride a roller coaster while also having to jump to avoid obstacles and grab items. But first I go down the ramp next to the coaster. It leads to a few moving platforms and then past them is a little arcade where Curtis is playing. I ruin his fun. I then go back and jump in the coaster. Along the track are barricades with skulls on to jump over. Some of them are dicks and appear as you're turning corners, so the only way to dodge them is to already know they would be there beforehand. On a downhill there's a Spectre coin on the track. Not long after that is the end of the screen, but the coaster keeps going. There comes a long downhill with many jumps to do, and right after is a Spectre coin in the air that I missed from jumping too late. So I let myself die to try again. This time I jump too early and land just as the coin passes over me. So I just leave it and decide to finish the rest of the coaster. There's a big drop, then the end of the screen, and on the next one is where it stops for me to get off. Up the stairs and through the door, I see Katie through a cage. She's getting a little impatient, but Spike can't reach her from here, he'll have to find a way around. I go through the next door, and despite seeing this giant knife in front of me, I still walk my face into it. Twice. I think it through next time, and walk around, avoiding the whisper mirrors floating around. Through the next door is the first Alele, a ghost in a pot. Just smashing the pot deals with them. To the right is a door to a pit I can't cross yet. Then further on I see a cage with a monkey inside, but I don't see a way to progress further. I try hovering over the pit, but that just kills me. I only notice this breakable wall opposite the door to the pit when I kill the Alele again and accidentally damage the wall. Through a tunnel with more Aleles and up some stairs to a bridge that lets me drop into the cage. I strike Slime on the way down and catch him. One switch in here creates platforms over the pit, the second one opens the door and lets me out. I cross the pit and go through the door to the next screen. Katie is in this room, as are 3 monkeys. They jump down into the pit below and hide in the coffins. To make a monkey show himself, I have to kill the whisper mirrors floating out of the coffins. I don't know which is which because they wear the same shorts and are unarmed, but their names are Junior, Lenny and Funky. Catching all 3 of them drops Katie's cage. She blames Spike for the painful landing. She also complains when she learns that Spike still hasn't found Buzz or Spectre and heads back to the lab, having to suffer the terror coaster on the way back. I go out after her and jump in the coaster, which takes me back outside. In the hub, Spectre talks to Spike over the tannoy. He tells Spike to go to the go-kart section where Buzz is waiting. Most of it's actually really hard to hear, and there's no subtitles, but that's the important part of it. I head down to the no longer blocked off go-kart section and enter. Inside is Buzz Attack Part 3. He's above, standing atop his Buzzmobile, talking about how good a rival Spike is, but things are being settled now. The Buzzmobile releases several RC cars that take a couple hits to destroy, or they'll blow themselves up against the walls. It follows that up with some missiles, but they can only fire in front and he first tries them with me behind. I stay behind him, spinning in place and hitting the back, because the impact makes me think I'm actually doing damage, but I soon learn and get out in front. Eventually the car will rev up and speed towards me, opening up the weak point on the back. I avoid it so it crashes into the tyre wall and take the chance to hit the weak point. Buzz then drives back into place to start the cycle again. A second hit, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and it's done. Buzz is ejected while the car explodes. Buzz violently hits the ground, and when Spike checks on him, he wakes up with little memory of his brainwashing and no idea why his entire body is injured. Spike makes those injuries worse by shaking him and then swinging him around by his arms. Spectre's voice can be heard again, disappointed to lose Buzz, but also saying he doesn't need him anymore. He says he'll open the door to Spectre Castle, so that Spike can take him on face to face. Buzz tries to come along, but he's too injured, so Spike has him return to the lab. Back into the hub, and the door in the top middle is open for me to go through. Spike runs through the corridor and sees Spectre Castle floating up into the sky. That leaves me with the remaining crater to climb down and explore. Down at the bottom is a machine and on top is another Spectre coin. The switch nearby activates the machine, which is a teleporter that sends me up to the castle. I ride a platform past the big laser below, and here I am. To start with, there's another Spectre coin to the right. I run off to the right and find a door hidden off to the side. As I follow the path, a monkey in here presses a switch, which sets off the propellers in the middle of the room. At the end of the path is a wall to climb with the propeller. Up here is a switch to shoot that opens up a hatch further down. I drop through it to catch Whopper, the monkey that set everything off in here. On top of the switch I press is another Spectre coin, but while grabbing it I miss the landing and fall to my death. That's all there is to do in here, and I go back out. There's now a pair of monkeys on each side of the front garden flying saucers around. I first shoot down and catch Gianola, and then do the same with Mulder on the other side. That finally opens the front door so I can get inside properly. I've seen a container like this at Trick Castle, but couldn't open it. With this one I can just see a monkey clipping through. Still can't break it. To the right and through the door is a hole for the RC car. There's a thin moving platform going along this pit, and I have to move myself and the car along it to get the car to the other end. At the end is a switch that opens the gate in front of it into a corridor, so I can find Colin, the monkey playing pool, and catch him. Out the corridor and around the corner I find another monkey, Ice Ice, and die chasing him thanks to his gun and the mecha nutcases. Next time I get him. I return to the entrance and instead go straight ahead, past the Spectre portrait and up the stairs. This leads to a door to a room with two switches. Pressing both will open a door in the back that closes the second one of the switches is no longer pressed, so I leave it. Nearby is a switch that opens up a door below. Below meaning the end of the room where I caught Ice Ice. Inside is a device that elevates me above the two switches where I can catch Maka, who'd been shooting at me below. There's also a Spectre coin off to the side. I get back on the switches and use the dash hoop to get through the door. There's some stairs to the right, but first I go through the big monkey mouth. It leads to a room with another big monkey head. To the right I find I can drop down beneath the catwalk. Down here there's some arches that give me a speed boost, and at the end is a wheel that makes the big monkey head's eyes stick out. Using the arches I have to get back out and up to the monkey head so I can use the eyes to reach the higher platform. First time I land on the eyes, but slip between them and fall. I make it on my second try. Up here is my next monkey capture, Guy. Past where I caught him is a switch that opens at the doorway at the top of the stairs in the previous room. Next to the switch is a hole for the RC car into a cage with large pits in the middle and a monkey to chase out. It takes a few minutes because whenever I chase him out he manages to get back in again, but I eventually get Tiny out and capture him. Back to the previous room, up the stairs and through the door. As I follow this long path up the room, I keep getting attacked by the rocket chimpanoid. It follows me and tries to shoot me off the floor. While avoiding it, I also have to hover over a moving electric fence. Past that is an extremely narrow path. No chance. I jump to the nearby platform in the wall and use that to skip them. Then comes bouncing over a pit. Then conveyors that grant me the speed boost I need to jump to this platform on the wall and capture English. Across more platforms and up a slope avoiding huge laser shots, then over another fence and the rest of the path to Dawn at the computer and get my next catch. Then up a little bit more is the door leading outside. This is a long level. The recording for this level alone comes to over an hour long. First obstacle is rolling moving platforms, then spinning moving platforms. The ball and chain in the middle knocks me off to my death. After that I propel myself to a higher platform and find a hole for the RC car. The middle one makes this platform rise so I can jump to another one nearby. I spot a monkey below, above the door I entered this screen from, and jump down to try catching it, but I use the propeller too late and miss. Next time I try a different angle and I don't know what happened. I must have just switched off and only remembered to use the propeller when it was far too late, resulting in my most deserved death. Then the ball and chain kills me again. This time I get the angle right and Fatty is captured. Back up to the last platform I was at, I grab the swing and ride across. Looking up, I see a switch and shoot it to create quickly receding sets of steps up to it. A narrow path to a bouncy platform, but I drop to a platform below to capture Cuddles and get another Spectre coin. Then I have to go all the way back around to get up to the bouncy platforms again. Then I have to do it again because the platform somehow bounced me fucking backwards. But once I go all the way back up next time, I make it across. But then comes two wheels controlling what is basically an ice hockey paddle and constant ice hockey puck platforms coming at me. At first they just keep bouncing off. It turns out I have to time the movement of the barrier so that it stops the platform, then take the chance to jump on it before it gets moving again. I ride it back to where it came from and get on the big platform here that moves upwards. I follow the path it leads to, trying to ignore the stronger hyper chimpanoid and go through the door. Only it's locked, so I have to kill it. Aside from the attacks the chimpanoid in the park had, this one also has a flamethrower. But it's killed the same way and the door opens to reveal a switch. This moves the Spectre portrait all the way down on the first floor inside to reveal a lift behind it. Thankfully there's a platform here that lowers me to a now door that puts me back near it. I ride the lift to the next area. There's a platform in front of me that takes me to an obvious boss arena. There's a huge mech behind a barrier here but nothing I can do to it, so I go right and take the next moving platform there. This takes me to the next level up where Spectre is waiting for me. Spectre brags about the size of his fortress, Spike tells him to knock it all off, Spectre gives Spike the offer to be his new Buzz and Spike says no. But Spectre says the helmet will make it easy to control Spike's mind and gives it a try. It doesn't work and Spike resists so hard that he knocks Spectre over. Spike repeats the Professor's philosophizing on power at Spectre. Spectre gives up on controlling Spike and settles for killing him instead, so he gets in the head of the giant mech, Goliath. For the first phase of this fight, the camera is from the Goliath's point of view, showing me its targeting reticule so I know where to avoid its shots. I have to get up close and hit it with my club. Not too close or I'll hit the barrier and get bounced back. After a few hits it will start sending out shockwaves. A few more hits and this phase is finished. The platform I'm standing on breaks apart, leaving me to fight the Goliath's full body. It starts by firing several shots into the air that soon drop down, then follows it up with another shockwave attack. It also has a pair of drones that will shoot at me too. After that it's more hand lasers but straight ahead. After that attack, the glowing pink spot on its hand turns a familiar green. But I actually missed that first time and kept trying to find ways to shoot it in the head with the slingshot. By the fourth time, I finally realise and get a shot in. 2 shots of explosive ammo take the right arm clean off. Then 2 shots to the other arm get rid of that. This also breaks up in the Goliath's chest. With no arms it will start firing the laser from its mouth, the first one destroying the middle section of the arena, leaving a big gap in the middle. After that a weak point appears in its chest for me to shoot. The middle section respawns and the Goliath shoots it down again. Next shot in. Middle section destroyed a third time and the third and final shot lands, destroying the Goliath. Spectre throws a tantrum while Spike tells him to return to the amusement park. He instead teleports away, warning that he'll be back to conquer the world soon. With this I get the game's first ending. Spectre Castle falls to Earth. The crew of the lab watch it fall and explode, but Spike's alive so everything's okay. Hopefully it didn't land on anyone else. He reaches the group and the game goes to the credits. After the credits we can see that Spectre's show at the amusement park has been cancelled while he's still missing. The Professor says that Spectre will probably show up again soon. And even apart from him, their job isn't over, as there are still monkeys left littered all through time to bring back. The Professor will try to track down Spectre while Spike works on the monkeys. And so I'm put back into a time station with the objective to replay every level for the remaining monkeys. I'm also now at 53.6%. All that will have to wait for the next time, but first I have to cover my completion of this level in Ape Escape P. Once again the level name is unchanged on the PSP, but the world name was changed from Present Day 2 to Monkey Madness. Starting this level gets me the trophy, I'm just here for the rides. In Western Land I catch Tyson, renamed Japard, Mankey, renamed Tiger, Kong, who is now called Panther, and Parsley, who has been renamed Leopold, and then get the Spectre coin above the gate. In Spectre Circus I meet the Professor, still die multiple times to the bouncing platforms even more than I did on the PS1, kill a bomb balloon, take 7 minutes to reach the top of the cage, kill the wind-up clown, and free the Professor. Into the Terror Coaster I catch Curtis, now called Niner. While riding the coaster I get the first Spectre coin on it, and this time I get the second one in the air first try. I run into Natsumi and kill an Alele. Behind the door leading to the pit I get another Spectre coin earlier than on the PS1 by jumping in place and using the propeller just past the door. I catch Slime, now Decent. I catch Junior, now Uki E Uk Jr. Lenny, now B Diddy Jr. and Funky, now Method Monkey Jr. All before they can hide in the coffins. That's Natsumi free too. I get told to go to the go-karts by Spectre, trash the Jake mobile, getting the trophy all together again, and swing Jake around some more to make him too injured to come with me and risk stealing my thunder. I watch Spectre Castle rise from the ground, get the Spectre coin above the teleporter and head up there. I grab the Spectre coin in the front garden, then the one in the side room above the switch before I catch Whopper, now named Andy. Back outside for Genola, now Armstrong, and Mulder, now Gagarin. Doing things out of order next, I catch Guy, now Deanie, and Tiny, now Baxter. More monkeys caught that I didn't in my first PS1 run. I blow the light on the giant monkey head to reveal a hidden room. In here I find another Spectre coin and catch Bizarro. I remember the ones I missed a floor down and go back to get them. First is Colin, now called Tucker. Then Ice Ice, renamed Pulsar. Then Macca, now called Dick and the Spectre coin near him. Then while running from the rocket chimpanoids I catch English, now called Kent, and Dawn, now called Klein. Now in the highest room, I die a lot to those first two rolling platforms. I catch Fatty, now called Oliver, and find that with the middle switch pressed with the RC car, I can just jump to the right to find Cuddles, now Carlos, and get that Spectre coin. That's all 10 Spectre coins in the level. I destroy the Hyper Chimpanoid to open up the lift to the boss. I confront Spectre and take down the Goliath, getting the trophy, Is This the End of Spectre? Spectre teleports off, his castle crashes, and Spike and Jake don't get to make hand contact in this version before it cuts to credits. I get told to find the other monkeys, but that's not all I have to do in the PSP version. I have an enemy book which keeps track of which enemies I've killed that I need to complete. Then there's Casey's documents. I don't even want to get into that right now. I end this episode with the PSP completion at 55.2%. This is where part 2 will come to a close. This and part 1 were intended and written to be one whole video, with these games being covered completely in just 2 parts. But some behind the scenes stuff making me make the August and September videos out of order, followed by the combined script being over twice the length I was expecting it to be, I realised it just wasn't possible. That last level alone was a whole fifth of the combined script and took an entire day to write. But look forward to next episode, which will wrap these games up with covering the missing monkeys, the missing Spectre coins, time trials and other assorted missing completion stuff, mainly added to the PSP version.